All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we have a truly diabolical deck list for you today for Blue Doflamingo. So we're going to hop right into it, guys. I don't want to spoil anything. Let's just get right into this. Very standard layout video. First things first, we're going to be checking out the deck list. After that, we're going to be hopping over to the sim. We got 5 games on the sim. And then after that, we're going to finish up by recapping. And I'm going to tell you guys what I think about it moving forward. Okay? I will have everything time-stamped in the general description. And I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comments section below. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below. Or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Alright guys, let's go ahead and break down the deck list. We're going to start off with the leader. We're running Blue Doflamingo. That's right, OP11 Doflamingo. 5,000 power, 5 life, mono blue, 7 warlords, Don Quixote Pirates type leader. With Dawn ×2, when attacking, pay 1, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a 7 warlords of the sea type character card with a cost of 4 or less, you may play that card rested. Okay, so now we're going to go through each card. If you're a newer player, I'm not going to read every one of these cards. Be sure to pause and read these if you're a newer player, okay? So I'm going to mouse over each one. All right, so we're running 4 of the OP07 3-cost Doflamingo, running 2 Boa Hancock, running 4 Edward Weevil, 4 of the EB02 Crocodile, 4 of the OP01 Boa Hancock, 4 Gecko Moria, the 4-cost Vanilla, 4 of the 2K counter Crocodile, 4 of the 2K counter Trafalgar Law, 4 of the 4-cost on play Gecko Moria that can get cards out of the trash, 4 of the 2K counter Dracula Mihawk, 4 ST17 Crocodile, 4 Trafalgar Law, the one that bounces, and 4 Boa Hancock. So what's going on here, guys? I'm sure some people have picked up on it immediately, and this is essentially a blind fire, never miss Doflamingo build. Now, yes, people have experimented with this before. I'm not the first person to come up with this idea, but I started thinking to myself, you know, I think this version of Blue Doflamingo might be very strong right now. So what do I mean? What do I mean by blind fire? Okay, so we're running this leader. He can play out if you attach 2 and attack and then pay 1. You can reveal the top card of your deck, and if it is a 7 Warlords character that costs 4 or less, you can play it right onto the field rested. Well, guys, if you take a quick second to notice what I have in this deck, every single card will hit. I'm not running any events. I'm not running any cards that are 7 Warlords that cost 5 or more, and every single card that I can hit on here is pretty good. The least powerful card to hit is this Boa Hancock, but this is more of a utility spot in the deck. I did want exactly 10 blockers just in case I needed them towards the end of a game. But we're also running another card in here, okay? This 3-cost Doflamingo. We're going to read 2 cards because I don't think most people probably know what they do unless you played a lot of Blue Doflamingo in the past. Or tried to build a Blue Doflamingo deck. But this card here is a 3-cost 4,000 power Doflamingo from OP07 that has activate main once per turn, pay 2, and reveal 1 card from the top of your deck. If that card is a 7 Warlords of the Sea type character card with a cost of 4 or less, you may play that card rested, then place the remaining on the bottom of your deck in any order. So you see what's going on here, right, guys? In this deck right here, you basically want to go first every time, and you want to mulligan for this card or mulligan for as many 2K counters as you can. Okay, and here's why. Going first, if you don't see this card, you just get to attack in with your leader right away and then play a card from the top of your deck, right? Remember, guys, you're never going to miss. You don't have to set it up. You just attack in, and you're going to more than likely get a 5 or 6,000 power character, right? We're running 12 6,000 power characters in here with Boa Hancock, the Vanilla Gecko Moria, and Edward Weevil, and then almost all the rest are 5,000 power characters, right? There are a few exceptions like we talked about with this Doflamingo, this Boa Hancock, and then this 2K counter Trafalgar Law. But, you know, 40 out of the 50 cards in this deck are a 5,000 power or higher character you're just going to hit with this leader effect, just at random, no matter what, right? Then, but here's the thing, though. Okay, so if you're going first, and you don't see this character, you're just going to attack him with your leader for 7 and cheat out a character from the top of your deck. However, if you get this character, you play this out on turn 2, excuse me. You swing for 5 with your leader first and just develop this card. Because, guys, if this card sticks, let me explain something. The next turn, you get to pay 2 and put the top card of your deck into play, and then you get to attach 2 and pay 1, swing 7, and put another card from the top of your deck into play, okay? And like we're saying, you're more than likely going to hit a 5 or 6,000 power character. So that's the whole idea there. This is the card you're trying to get in your mulligan, you know, whenever you're looking at your hand. You're going to choose to mulligan if you don't see this card, or if you don't see any 2K counters. Now, we're running 12 2K counters, 4 Draco Mihawk, 4 Trafalgar Law, and 4 of Crocodile, the OP07 Crocodile. And we want to get those in our hand because we don't actually want to hit those on the top of our deck from our Doflamingo effects, right? We want to draw as many of those in our opening hand as possible. So that's what we're going for, guys. If you see a hand of like lots and lots of 2K counters, okay, keep that, right? Because that means there's less 2K counters in your deck. Most of them are in your hand, and that means you're going to hit less of them with your Doflamingo effects, and you have the 2K counters in your hand to defend the cards on the board that you're cheating out, that you're spitting out with these effects. Okay? The other thing to go for, if you know, I would try to keep this card in your opening hand, but I will say this: the priority is getting as many 2K counters in your hand as possible. Okay? Now, the other card that I wanted to talk about is this Crocodile card from EB02. It's not great for what we're trying to do here, but it's also not terrible. It's a 4-cost, 5,000 power, 1K counter, 7 Warlords character with, on your turn, once per turn, when an opponent's character is returned to its owner's hand by your effect, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck and place them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So, again, this isn't like a incredible card here, and I think there's a new Jinbei coming out in either PRB02 or OP13, I can't remember, but there is a new Jinbei card that I think is like a 4-cost 5K when attacking Searcher or something like that. That would probably take the place of this card in the deck, or we could move some numbers around, you know, depending on what happens. But overall, we just need 4-cost 5,000 power targets in the deck, and if you go to the you know, the deck builder, click on the blue cards and type in 7, then it will come up with all the 7 Warlords cards. Now, you can technically include something like Marshall D. Teach here, guys, but I don't think we really care too much about a card like this, because we're just slamming down cards from the top of our deck. This is nothing like the standard Doflamingo list, guys. Understand that. The one that was very popular before the Jinbei ban, you know, it's nothing like that list where it was more controlling and you're doing a lot of bounce tricks and, you know, you're bouncing back Searchers to get hand advantage and things like that. Guys, this is the opposite. This deck here is very much a just turn your brain off and just slam into your opponent's board or face, right? That's the whole idea behind this deck. We want to use our leader effect and this character every single turn that we can to cheat out as many cards from our deck as possible onto the field. So it is just meant to be a board flood aggro list. This is a heavy aggro list. We're not running any events. We're not running any Jozus. We're not having any kind of like board control stuff other than this Trafalgar Law, because this card, of course, combos with our leader effect, you know, and with our whole setup, right? We can just bounce our cards back to hand, or even bounce this Trafalgar Law back to hand to bounce our opponent's characters out of the way. This is just a very solid card, okay? Now, one card I do want to mention, some people might not know what this card does. This is the ST17 Crocodile. It's a 4-cost, 5,000 power character with a 1K counter, and it has on play, reveal 1 card from the top of your deck, and if that card has the 7 Warlords type, draw 2 and place 1 from your hand on the top of your deck. So when you play this card out, you're basically drawing 2 cards and then putting a card from your hand on the top of your deck. So this is actually a very, very strong card for what we're doing, because we will never miss that on play effect. Every card in this deck is a 7 Warlords character. Okay. Now, I think that's probably it. Oh, some people might not know what this Boa does, because this was never a really popular card. And I'm going to be honest, guys, it's not the greatest card in this deck. But it's a 4-cost, 5,000 power, 1K counter blocker with Dawn ×1 when attacking or on block. Draw 1 card if there are 5 or less cards in your hand. Ultimately, in this deck, it's just a blocker. That's legitimately all it is in here, and it's a 4-cost 5K character we can cheat out with our leader's effect, and it's also a 1K counter. So there's really no downside for this card in this version of the deck. And notice what we have going on here, guys. We only have 8 cards in this entire deck that are bricks, right? The 4 Doflamingo and the 4 Edward Weevil here. You know, these Boas, This is a really strong card here. It's a nice little chump blocker we can use. We have 8 other bigger blockers we can rely on. Actually, excuse me, we have 12 cards in here that are not counters. 12 cards in here that are bricks, but they're cards we always want to play out. We don't want to counter with these, right? Like the 4-cost Boa, the 4-cost ST17 Boa. Let me be more specific, because there's another Boa right above it. Edward Weevil, and then Doflamingo. These are cards we want to cheat out as soon as possible, but still, guys, only 12 bricks in the entire deck. So very, from my playtesting so far, it's been pretty reliable as far as like counter goes. I never found myself thinking like, man, I wish I had more counter or something like that. Okay. Well, guys, that's about it for this list. Let's go ahead and check it out on the sim and see it in action. All right, first game we got up against blue-purple Luffy. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Now, okay, let me pause actually real quick. You know, viewer discretion is advised, okay? Because this list here is about as degenerate as it gets, okay? This is not your standard run-of-the-mill blue Doffy, okay? You have been warned, okay? You have been warned, okay? Here we go. We're going to start off here. I think we're probably going to keep this because we do have the 3-cost Doflamingo. We're going to be able to use that to cheat stuff out. And against blue-purple Luffy, we can't just play that out first because we can't attack it on turn 1, and we want to keep the pressure on. We swing it for 7, blind rip. Oh, what do you know? We hit a card, guys. It's a 4-cost 6K vanilla Gecko Moria. Seems good. Okay, they play out a Zoro Juro, huh? Okay, well, we can't use the leader effect this turn because that card has to go back to their hand. We're going to swing 6, we're going to swing 6, we're going to play out the law, bouncing back the Zoro, and bouncing our law back to our hand so we can do it again. That card's not sticking. Hopefully they understand that. Okay, so now they're on a 6-on turn. They're just going to red rock. They said, you know what, get this card off the board. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do, Doffy player. That's right. I don't think he really sees what we're trying to do just yet, though. Okay, so we're swinging in for 7. Oh, what is this? We got another rip off the top here. Very nice. And then we're going to play out the Edward Weevil, drawing a card. We're filling out the board here. My opponent's down to 5 cards in hand, okay? 2 life, 5 cards in hand. They're going to play out a Bon Carré. They're going to gear 2. They're going to ramp up, swing for 8. Okay, sure, you can have that. If it was a 6,000 power character, I probably would have saved it, okay? But not so much the 5,000 power characters. All right, we're going to play out the Boa here. We're going to attach a Dawn to our leader. Okay, after setting the cards the way we want them, we're going to swing for 6, and then we're going to swing for, I think, maybe 8. We might swing for 8 here, guys. Let's see. Nope, just 7, and then we're going to flip this, the Trafalgar Law onto the board, bouncing back their Bon Carré, and then playing out the Doflamingo. Okay, things are about to get a little crazy here, right? Things are about to get a little bit crazy. My opponent's going to play out a Sanji, and playing out a Nami. Okay, that is good for us. It was not a 9-cost Linlin, so that's actually really good for us. They're going to swing for 6. You're not getting that card. Here's a 1K counter, and now it's going to be back to me. They have 1 Dawn active, and guys, it's about to get gross right here. Hopefully you guys see what's going on. Well, I can fill out the board pretty nicely. Okay, so we're going to play out the Boa, it looks like. I don't know if that's the right call, though. Yeah, I like just playing out this Gecko Moria, or excuse me, using the Doflamingo. So, guys, let me explain what just happened there. We just used the 3-cost Doffy's effect. We paid 2, revealed the top card of our deck. What do you know? It's a hit. We play out the Gecko Moria. We grab a 2K counter out of our trash. We have another character on the board. And now I think the right situation to do here, guys, is just attack, attack, attack. Right, because our board's full, and if he starts getting rid of our board, we can just go round 2 with him just by dumping our hand and having all these cards on the board and using like the 3-cost to fill up our board and our leader effect. Okay. All right, here we go. So we're gonna swing 8, 8, 8 here, guys. All 8s. Okay, so they use a Gum Giant there. And then we're going to swing for 8 more. Then we're going to swing for 8 more, revealing the top card of our deck. It's an Edward Weevil. Okay, slamming into play. And guys, we have like 8, what is that, 5? I think we have like 10 cards in our hand right now. He's not getting anything on this board. He might get the 1 card he attacks into with the Sanji, but he might not even get that, guys, depending on where he attacks. Okay, 6 into 6. Absolutely not. Hey, good try, buddy. Good try. Oh, 9 into 6. That's a 2K, 2K. We're out of that for 2 cards, guys. Okay. Here goes round 2. Round 2 of just attacking across the board for 6s and more. Okay, attach 1 Dawn to the Gecko. We're going to swing for 6 because we're probably going to replace that card with the Doflamingo effect here. Yep, swinging for 7. We'll just replace that card. That's fine. Okay, they're already using blockers on 7K attacks, guys. Well, here goes my next one for 8. They counter out of that with an event. We're swinging in for 8 more. Blocker, 8 more. He's got a 1K, 1K. GG. Good game of my opponent, but man, that was absolutely brutal, right? It's just non-stop aggression across the board, and this next turn, I don't think it gets much better for him, because I think he'll only be able to play out like a 9-cost Linlin. He'll gain a life, but I'm only going to let him have one character on the board. So say he swings for 6 into my Mihawk, and I 2k counter out of that, and then if he swings 9 into it, I'll let it go. And then if he swings 9 into one of my 6,000 power characters, guys, I'm probably going to defend it. Let me see what I have in hand. I have a 1k, a 1k, a 1k, a 2k, and a 1k. Yeah, so what I would be able to do, if he attacks 6 into my Mihawk, I can just give him a 2k counter, and then if he goes 9 into it, I let it go, and then 9 more into 6, I would then be able to give him 1, 2, 3, 4k counter from my hand and just get out of it, because I just have to keep the pressure on, right? So, I mean, and it really depends on what he bounced off the board, by the way, with the Charlotte Linlin, if he tried to play that out on this turn. So, whatever the case was, good game to my opponent. That was a rough position for them to be in, and that's what this deck does, guys. It goes very wide, and it goes very fast. Okay, next game. So that one was against Blue-Purple Luffy. This next one's against Yellow Eustass Kid. Volume is off. The speed is on 2x, and here we go. Okay, look at that hand, guys. Pause. This is probably the second best hand you can get, other than like a Doflamingo starting hand with the 3-cost Doffy with a bunch of 2k counters. We have 5 2k counters in our hand. Nothing on our board is going to get removed this entire game. It's just not going to happen, right? Unless they get through all of our counter power. Okay, so we're going to go first. We have no turn 1 played. They're going to go turn 1 Monkey D. Luffy, and then playing out the Scratchman of Pooh. We're going to attack in for 7. Okay, this is probably going to go through unless they want to give us the blocker. Yep, they're down to 4 life, and now we have this card on the board. Okay, well, we're going to protect that. That's for sure. They play out a Basil Hawkins. Watch this, guys. We're going to... Wow, okay, pause. So right here, we use the effect. We pay 2 to use the effect of the 3-cost Doflamingo. We reveal the top card of our deck. It's a bounce law. So now we're going to bounce the Doflamingo back to our hand. We'll play that out later. And now we still have 3 Dawn for the turn to swing in for 7 with our leader. And just keep filling this board out. Oh, what do you know? It's another character. Guys, we're swinging for 7 while developing 4-cost 5Ks. That's the entire logic behind this deck. That's the entire way it works, okay? Nothing too fancy, right? Nothing too complicated. They're going to develop a Kikinojo. Remember, we bounced the Basil Hawkins back to their hand. They couldn't even block with it. They're going to swing for 7 into 5, 2k, 1k. You're not getting that. Guys, we are about to go as wide as we possibly can on the board here. Okay? We're going to play out the Boa, and that's going to let us set our top cards. We'll attach a Dawn to our leader for free. We will swing for 5. We will swing for 6, and then we will swing for 7, cheating out an Edward Weevil, drawing a card. They block out of it. It's their turn. Okay, they play out a 7-cost 9k. They only have 2 attacks this turn. It's going to be swing 6 and swing 7. So they're going to swing for 6. Here's a 2k. They're going to swing for 6 more. Okay, well, here's a 1k. So they have 1 Dawn active. They're probably sitting on something. Okay, actually, they're going to play out another Scratchman of Pooh blocker. Okay, well, now we're going into their board. We have 5 life, guys. We still have 5 life. If we get rid of that Kikinojo, they don't get to gain a life from it. So we're swinging everything into it. We just ate up their entire board. The card's gone now. And now we can actually just go insanely big into this law. We went 12 into 9, cheating out another Edward Weevil. We draw a card with that, with that effect. And then we swing in for 5 with Crocodile. 5 into 5. Nope. Sorry, bud. Yeah, sorry, not happening. Good game to my opponent there, but that was a situation where it's like, what are they supposed to do? This turn right here, I might not even win the game, by the way, because they do have double Red Hawk in hand, so they can get out of 2 attacks probably, and they have 3 life, and they'll have a blocker. But it doesn't matter, right? We're just going in for all these 7s across the board. Because, now, let me say this. Once your board is full in this form of the deck, like in this version of the deck, you don't play anything from hand. Once your board is full, you just go for the strongest numbers you can. So in this situation right here, we would be swinging for probably 7 on Weevil, 7 on Weevil, 7 on Boa, and that was only a 3 Dawn investment. We still have 7 Dawn to work with for the turn, so that would end up being 2, 2, and 2. Yeah, so guys, we would actually be swinging 6 times this turn. We would be swinging 6 times this turn, and then using our leader effect to potentially replace one of these cards on the board with the leader effect. And look what it is, guys. It's a 4-cost 5k, so we would actually just replace the Crocodile that's on the board to draw a card and set our top card. So, guys, just absolutely brutal. It is an onslaught when it works like this. If your opponent does not have removal or a way to deal with your board, they're going to be in for a rough time. Okay, next game we got against Red Yellow Sabo. Okay, let me get the volume off. Let's go full screen and 2x speed. Some Red Yellow Sabo. I've been seeing a lot of people playing Red Yellow Sabo on the sim, guys. It makes me really happy. I hope people are really enjoying that deck, because I did for a very long time. And I still do, but I had to take a little bit of a break recently. Okay, so we're going second this time. We don't want to go second ever, but that's okay, because we do still get to, you know, there's things we can do here. So watch this. We're going to just swing for 6. What do you guys think I'm going to do? A 3-Dawn play here, the only one in my hand. We're going to develop this Doflamingo, because typically speaking, Sabo does not have any removal. I mean, some will run like Mole Pistol and things like that, or if you're running a control deck, you might, but you know, typically speaking, Sabo's been running the Goa Kingdom package. So right here, we're going to use the effect. Hang on, so they played out a Basil Hawkins. So right here, guys, we're not afraid to attack with this card, just investing 1 Dawn, right? So we're on a 6 Dawn turn. We were able to pay 2 with the effect of that character to play out that 4-cost 6K vanilla Gecko. Now we're going to attach a Dawn, swing for 5. This is going to be a card out of hand. And then we're going to use our leader effect here to swing for 7 and play out another card from the top of our deck. And look at our hand size, guys. Like, I mean, yeah, we have 3 bricks in our hand, but we also have 2, 4, 6, 8, I think 9 or 10K counter in hand. Okay? Okay, we play out that the crocodile that lets us draw 2 and put a card back. And here we go. So they're going to go ahead and develop a Luffy here. Looks like they're going to swing for 7 into a character. Probably, okay, 7 into 6 is not the right call. I have to say 7 into 6 is not the right call there. Now they're going to go 8 into what? Let's see what they go into. 7 into 4. Now that's a good attack there. Now pretty much wherever they attack with this, I might save it. Okay, they're going to go 8 into 5, and I have a lot of 2Ks in hand, guys. I have a lot of 2Ks in my hand. So we are going to save this card. Okay, and watch this, guys. If he thinks I'm scared to lose a life from that Basil Hawkins, he is incorrect, right? We attack into it. He only has 4 cards in hand. So now we're going to be able to swing in for 6 into the leader. And watch this, guys. We're going to swing in for 7. We cheat out a Boa. That was technically a whiff for what this deck does. But now we have a blocker on the board that he has to deal with next turn. And we still have 7 cards in hand and 2 life. So he can't really blitz us down this turn. Okay, he's going to go, what is this? 9 into 6. That's unfortunate, guys. We could have countered out of that, but it would have taken us 3 cards because we got a 2K and a bunch of 1Ks. Okay, that's okay. So he cleans up my board a little bit. I think he should have attacked him with that Nami and put me on a, down to 1 life potentially, but that's okay. All right, right here, guys, we're going to swing in for 5, get that effect off. We should have used the effect first, but we know what his top life card is. It's not a trigger. We know what it is. So we swing in there. We swing in for... Oh, excuse me. I think we did get the effect off first. That's what the Gecko was. My apologies. Okay, now we're swinging in for 7, cheating out a 4-call 6K, playing out the Edward Weevil, and I don't know what he's supposed to do here, guys, because he can't go for lethal with what's on the board. Okay, 10 into 5, we're going to let that go. Now, where's this 9 going? 9 into 4? Sure, you can have that. And, guys, I think my opponent might be getting a little bit frustrated right here. And, they end up just tapping out a little bit early. And can you blame them? Can you blame them? First of all, look at their hand. They have a single 2K counter in their hand. Okay, so this turn, when we go to attack in, it's going to probably be it'll probably actually be a 6. I'm not going to lie. I have 10 Dawn, so I'm going to do one Dawn on Edward Weevil, 1 Dawn on Gecko Morium, and go from there. They have a blocker, they have 2 life, and their last life is a beige. So I don't think I can beat them this turn, but it's like, how are they going to get back into this when I have that much counter power and 2 life? Because this turn, what I'm probably going to do is I want to at least use my leader effect, so that's 3 Dawn, and I want to put at least 2 Dawn on the Weevil and the Gecko Moria. So my first attack probably would be a 5K check with the Crocodile, and that would get their 2K counter, by the way, and then the 7K would go through, and the next 7K they'd probably use their blocker on, or maybe they would take it. If they take it, that'd be really strong for them because it was a beige, and then I wouldn't be able to use my leader effect, but that's okay, because remember, at that point, we'd have only used 2 Dawn. We would have had 5K attack from Crocodile, 7K from Gecko Moria, 7K from Edward Weevil, and then, like I said, if he doesn't, if he does use the blocker before taking the last life, then we get to attack him with our leader, or if he doesn't, and he does take the last life where we can't attack with our leader, we just develop 2 more bodies, 2 more Edward Weevils, and we sit on all this counter power. Okay, if we had a blocker, we would have played that, guys, but unfortunately, we just didn't see any. Actually, excuse me, we did. We have the 4-cost Boa blocker right here. So we'd have played out a 4-cost Boa blocker, and then we'd have played out an Edward Weevil, fixing our hand a little bit, and gone from there. Okay, good game to my opponent. Let's keep going. All right, we've got 2 more games, guys. We got a game versus Blackbeard. Okay, volume is off. Let's get the speed on 2x, and here we go. We got a game versus Blackbeard here, and then the last game is going to be against Green Yellow Yamato. Okay, so we're going to go first this time. They play out a dot Q on turn 1. We have nothing turn 1, but turn 2 we're swinging in for 7. We're setting our cards up. We're going in for 8. We have a 6K on the board now. Okay, they're going to go ahead and use a finger pistol to fill up their trash and get rid of my boa. They attack in for 5. We take it. They use their leader effects immediately. They said, okay, yeah, we're not playing this game. We're not playing this game. Okay, I'm on a 5-Dawn turn. I just did a 5K attack. Pause. What do you guys think I'm going to do? Take a look at my hand, guys. What do y'all think I'm going to do next? Okay. All right. Let's see if what you said is right. That's right. We're going to play out the 3-cost Doffy and use his effect to cheat out a character. Because otherwise, if I did the 7K attack, then I can't develop this Doflamingo. So it ends up being a slightly weaker attack, but it's a more effective way to fill out our board. Okay, they're going to go 6 and a 5. We are going to give them a 2K. They're going to play out a Burgess, and man, this is just not going to be pretty, guys. We pay 2 for the Doffy. We swing in for 7 with our character there. We swing for 5, and we swing for 5. He actually gets a trigger to save him from an attack. But guys, our board is what it is right now. They're going to get rid of our cards here. They're going to swing for, let's see what they do. They swing for 5. I'm going to counter out of that. And then they only have an 8K attack. We're going to counter out of that, and we're all in here, guys. Okay, swing 9, swing 10. Good luck. Yep, swing 9, swing 10. Good luck. We get rid of the 1K counter there because we had 4 life, and now we're just bashing in for 10. Okay, they had 2, 3, 4, 5. They had exactly 10K counter to match my 10, but you have to get over it as the defender, so that was game over. Good game to my opponent. That's what this deck is meant to do, guys. You just completely flood the board. They had not even reached their 10-Dawn turn. Understand that, guys. I was on my 9-Dawn turn going first, so they were about to untap into what was going to be their very first 10-Dawn turn. So it was like, this deck is fast and furious, guys. And if he had not gotten the trigger, it would have been it wouldn't even been as close as it was. Okay? All right, good game to my opponent. Let's move on to the next one. We got one more game, guys. We got a game versus Green Yellow Yamato. Okay, volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Been seeing a lot of Yamatos pop up on the sim as well. Okay, so they're going to go first, which is unfortunate. We wanted to go first, obviously. They get to go first. They play out a 1-cost Yamato. And I will say this, guys, the person we're playing against, they were playing more of like, I think it was more of like a fortress style. You'll see when we start playing, they're playing a very interesting version of Yamato that I haven't seen before. Okay, so we pass on turn 1. We have nothing we can play out, okay, because we have no 2-Dawn cards in the deck. We're not even running the 2-cost Teach. They're going to play out the 1-cost Luffy. Okay, so they're running Supernova cards in here as well as Landawano cards. This seems like a pretty interesting deck, like I said, guys. Okay, they're going to swing for 5. I think we're going to take this one and get out of the double attack from their leader. We'll give them a 1K counter, and now it's our turn again. Okay, nice. We did want to see that Doflamingo eventually, right? We did want to see that. Very nice. Now we're going to play out the crocodile that allows us to look at our top card and reveal it if it's a 7 Warlords card, and then we get to draw 2 and put a card on top of our deck. Now that part's not too relevant, what card we put back, but it's nice to be able to draw through stuff and get more counters in our hand just in case we need it. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and play out a Kid and Killer. Okay, so guys, this is a green-yellow Supernova Yamato deck. Very, very cool. I've not tried that yet. I'm going to be honest. I haven't tried that yet, and it seems kind of seems like it could be kind of cool. Okay, they're going to swing in for 8. We do get out of that, and we're going to swing in for 5. And we're just trying to poke them down at this point, guys, get cards out of hand. They take the 5K hit, so I'm starting to think they're actually very bricked in hand. Okay, we're going to swing for 7. We cheat out the 5,000 power 2K counter Dracula Mihawk, which that Mihawk does have a very relevant when attacking effect to draw 2 trash 2 if you have 1 Dawn attached. Now we're going to develop our 3-cost Doflamingo, and things are about to get a little crazy here, right? We're starting to, now our board next turn will be full. Pretty much no matter what, I'm not going to let him have any of these characters on the board. He's attacking for 7 into my leader. We're taking that, right? We're taking the 7K hit there, guys. And now, next turn, I'm going to have a full board, and I'm going to be attacking very aggressively. So 5 Dawn is going to be reserved literally just for development, like 2 on my leader plus 1, and then 2 on this Doflamingo. So 5 Dawn is going to be accounted for. I'll only really have like 3 Dawn left for the turn to work with, but that's all I need, right? I can just, I can still attach it on to my Mihawk. I can attach it on to the Doflamingo. Okay, so we use the Doflamingo's effect first to play around any potential triggers, and then we're going to we get a Gecko Moria from the top, and we get a 2K counter out of our trash. We're going to swing for 6. We're going to swing for 6. Okay, fixing our hand a little bit. And now in this situation here, I might even develop an Edward Weevil. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, actually, no, we're just going to attack in for 8, keep the pressure on. That makes more sense the more I think of it. I was going to say, like, wait a minute, he does have a blocker on the board. Swinging for 5 wouldn't have made any sense because he has the blocker. Okay, so that was an extremely, extremely high, that was a strong turn for us, right? That was a very strong turn for us. Okay, guys, even after a high-impact, high-value turn like that, they're going to play out this card here, Momonosuke, and that card, Momonosuke in Yamato, is actually really, really good. So I think what I would do in this situation, I think they do something similar. They're going to use the leader effect to attach 2, and then attach an active Dawn to this Luffy and swing 5. That's what I would have done as well. We are going to counter out of it, of course. We're just going to 1K counter out of this, and then they're going to watch this, guys. Things take a turn, take a very interesting turn here. They swing for 5 into 5. We're just going to counter out of that. They're going to swing for 7 into face. Okay. That kind of threw me. That kind of threw me for a loop there. I'm thinking, yeah, wait a minute. Okay, we're just going to take it. We're just going to take it. And watch this, guys. He starts thinking, well, maybe I can return these 2 Dawn here and swing for 9 and try to catch him off guard. Well, guys, one thing I will say about Blue Doflamingo, no matter what version you're running, it has a lot of counter power. So we get out of that very easily, very comfortably. And now, guys, you know what? I'm down to 0 life. My board's full. We're all in. We're going for it. We're going to swing for 6 to start the turn off here to make it seem like, you know, if just in case we want to try to put down some blockers or something, we can try to set that up here. We're going to swing in for 6 more. 2 Mihawks. We're drawing 4 cards a turn, guys. We're cycling through 5 cards a turn, even though we're only drawing 1. That's a better way to say that. Okay, they give me a, okay. So hang on. Did y'all see that, guys? They just got a Narakabura arrow from the top, which allowed them to trash 2 cards to gain a life. Okay, they take the 7K hit. We're going in for 5 more, and then we're swinging 7, swinging 9. Or excuse me, swing 7, swing 8. All right, here we go. They take it, and I'm thinking, okay, well, they got 5 cards in hand. I think I knew a few of them from the searches, and I said, well, I'm going all in here. Okay, pause. So it looks like they had a Eustass Captain Kid in hand, 2 Eustass Captain Kids, and a Momonosuke. They had a 1-cost event, but they went all in on that last turn to attack in to try to take me out. But who knows? They might not have had that in their hand. They might have drawn that from one of their life cards. Because, guys, do realize we went through 3 life this turn, okay? Remember what happened here. At the beginning of this turn, they had 2 life, and then watch this. We attack in. Whoops, let me hit play. We attack in for 6. We fix our hand a little bit, and they counter out of this one. Okay, they give us a 2K, then we do another 6K attack, and watch this. Watch this, guys. They actually take this, and it's a Narakabura arrow, right? I don't know, people probably haven't seen this card in a while, but there it is right there, Narakabura arrow. Look at the trigger. You may trash 2 cards from your hand and place up to 1 card from the top of your deck at the top of your life. So who knows... excuse me, who knows what 2 cards they got from their life. One of them might have been a defensive event. So the first card they got from life is this arrow. Okay, and look what they trash. They end up trashing a Momonosuke and a 1K counter, a 1K counter Yamato there, the Searcher. I think they should have kept that. Okay, and then we swing for 5. This takes a counter out of hand. And here we go, guys. We're swinging 7. We're swinging 8. That's all we had. Now, we would not have survived the crackback. There's basically no way. But let's be honest, guys. If they had not gotten that extra trigger there, pause. The reason they went all in is because they knew they couldn't survive this turn. But if they had considered possible triggers, they should have just swung for 8 and played more defensively here, and they could have won next turn on the crackback. Because, that, like I said, I don't think they expected to gain an extra life. If they had not gained that extra life, this turn would have gone very, very differently. I don't even think it would have been close, right? But either way, hey, I mean, that's how triggers work, right? They can be a big surprise. All right, that's it, guys. Let's go and check out the deck list. Yeah, we went over blue-purple Luffy, yellow Eustass Kid, red-yellow Sabo, Blackbeard, and green-yellow Yamato. That's all the games. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this list one more time here. Yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below about it. And I'll tell you what, man, if Jinbei was not banned, of course, he would be a very welcome addition in this deck. And this would have gotten really, really crazy really quickly. Now, we did have some other options. You know, we do have this Gecko Moria in here. This is a 4-cost 5K, 1K counter Gecko Moria. Your turn, if you have 5 or more cards in your hand, this character gains double attack. That it is worth considering, I guess, for what we're trying to do. But I don't know. I think it seemed a little gimmicky to me. I'd rather just have the 4-cost 6K in the place of it, the vanilla card, because it's easier to defend on the board, and it lets me attack into the 6,000 power leaders, you know, pretty much for free. Some other cards to maybe consider. Let's see. Nope, not this card. I was going to say, I think there was one other Boa. Yeah, this one. This is one to consider. It's a OP02 Boa, 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter character. It has a when attacking effect, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand, then trash up to 3 cards from your hand. We're not going to trash the card. It says trash up to 3, so we can choose 0, but it's mainly for the cycle effect. When attacking, draw 1, trash 1. And who knows, maybe if we're playing around something, I have no idea. I don't think we'd want to use the second part of the effect, but draw 1, trash 1's always pretty solid. The Edward Weevils are interesting. Maybe, where is it? The 4 costs here. Dawn times 1 when attacking. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then place them in any order you'd like at the top or bottom of your deck. And then there's another one that can bounce a 3 or less back to hand. There's definitely some consideration here, but I don't think it's really what we're trying to go for with this version of the deck. Maybe this one is actually being able to bounce a card back to hand. That is annoying, and it will slow them down while we're just filling out the board. So I will say, after thinking about that, guys, I do kind of like the idea of this card being added to the deck. It might be something we mess around with later. What else? Now, what to take out for it, I have no idea. Maybe take out... This Crocodile is the most flexible spot in the deck. This is literally just a 4-cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter filler card for now. It doesn't really have... It doesn't really do all that much for us. It's not really helping us that much. In fact, like I said, the more I'm thinking about it, I think what I would do is I would actually replace it with this Weevil going forward. But guys, that's it. I don't really have a whole lot to say. Now, one thing I will say about this version of the deck is you can try to mess around with the idea of adding event cards, but remember, adding even just a few events will drop the consistency down of your leader effect from 100% effectiveness down to whatever else, right? 95, 90, depending on what all you want to add. So that's the major thing about how this deck is constructed, is you just never miss, right? If say you don't like this Boa, some people might not like this Boa. I like the fact that it's like a trigger. It has a potential. It has the potential to win us games from the trigger. I really like that part of this card. However, if you don't want to rely on the trigger, this would be the obvious replacement of that card. This Doflamingo, it's a 3-cost blocker just like the Boa. They both have 1k counters, but this is a 4,000 power body, so it is just like strictly better across the board. It just doesn't have, and it has a really strong on play effect, but it doesn't have a trigger. That's the only reason I was running this Boa. But other than that, this card is just a strictly better card. This would probably be a pretty interesting card to add to the list as well, because it's a 3-cost 5,000 power character. So that would allow you to make, you know, it would give you a few more play lines later in the game, right? If you're like on a, let's just say you're on a 6 Dawn turn, right? Say you're on a 6 Dawn turn and you want to develop 2 bodies for the turn, well, you can swing for 7 with your leader, you know, swing for 7 and pay 1 with your leader. That's going to cheat out a body, and then with the remaining 3 Dawn, you can cheat out this 3-cost 5k Edward Weevil. So this actually does have some merit to consider in the deck. What else? Same idea with this Jinbei. I know it's a 2-cost 4,000 power character. However, if you're on like a 5 Dawn turn and you have this card in hand, you're going to be able to develop 2 bodies. So again, it is worth considering for this specific version of the deck. Otherwise, not so much, right? And maybe you still want to consider running the Teach over something like this, because you're getting a really powerful effect for just 1,000 power less. So you might want to consider that as well. But guys, that's about it. There's other cards in here. Let me see. This is a card I hadn't considered yet because it's from OP12. Hey, guys, this is an OP11 legal list, okay? This is EB02, and everything else has been out for some time now. So this is an EB02 card, and you don't even have to run this one. Everything else came out before then. So it is OP11 legal. But going into OP12, I guess we can consider this Teach here. It has on play if your leader has the 7 Warlords type. You may return up to 1 character with a cost of 1 or less other than this character to the owner's hand. Yeah, never mind. Probably not going to need to run this. Makes no sense for what we're doing. But like I was saying earlier on when we first looked at the deck, I think there is a new 4-cost 5,000 power Jinbei coming out that could be really nice. And I think it's from PRB02. It's either OP13 or PRB02, but there's a new 4-cost 5,000 power Jinbei that could help this version of the deck out quite a bit. All right, that's it, guys. I'm done yapping. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me get the outro page on here. And guys, if you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, or part of the Discord community, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you're helping out the community in any way, shape, or form, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. This community has been awesome. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, guys, peace.